Hey, how's it going, boys? Just watched Demon Slayer, and I've been spamming voice lines like crazy every time I go out with my sister, cause she hates it so bad, and I just like when out of nowhere I just yell something like "Hino Kami Kagura!" and then she'll be like pissed off. Aside from learning a couple Japanese phrases I dare not to say in a room full of employed people, watching Demon Slayer reminded me how I think growth and self-improvement should happen in an individual. Not only that, but a recent talk with my girlfriend about the topic also prompted me to reflect more deeply about it, and hence me talking to you right now in this video. So today we're going to be talking about growth, especially the idea of organic growth versus fake growth. Growth that feels natural and growth that doesn't feel that so natural. What the fuck am I saying? This script is so ass. First of all, no matter how you view it, growth is growth. There's not really two sides about it. But you should also know that there's a huge difference between growing naturally versus growing because you feel like you should grow to fit a certain ideal. Each of those motivations towards growth have largely different outcomes. Growing naturally is like growing to a person that feels really genuine to you. It's like growing up through puberty and feeling that shoe that your mom bought a size bigger because you were like 10 years old, and then in a couple of years you're gonna hit puberty, so you don't want to spend more money than you needed to spend. Real growth is like completing that puzzle piece. It makes you whole. On the other hand, growing fakely, for lack of a better word, is like becoming someone you are not. I am an advocate for being genuine, and I feel like in a world full of performative, matcha-loving boys, there is merit in being proud of what you are and not fitting to what people think is ideal nowadays. I mean, being performative is not bad. It's not like part of the 7 sins. Shit, I'm performative as fuck, and it's super fun just being performative. But my god, does it piss me off when people try to be someone they're not. And that applies with the growth as well. You can just tell when someone's trying so hard to be another person's ideal. I kind of call it cosplaying, like those furries and shit. Like, sure, you take on a different persona, and even a better one, but is that really you? And if it's not, then can you even say that you've improved yourself? Because then the question is, are you improving your persona or are you improving yourself? I mean, there's no two sides to it. There's no two sides about growth, because growth in the end is indeed growth. So yeah, sure, you can say he's become better when he tries to be someone else. He's improving. But often people will see right through you. And in my point of view, that does more harm than good. If you relate to that kind of growth, you are not improving. If you want to be another person, you are just betraying who you are, and that is not a signal of strong, organic, sustainable fucking growth, whatever. Now, the reason why organic growth matters is because why wouldn't it matter? Why wouldn't you try to attain and improve something that naturally fits your gifts and tendencies? Why try to find something else out there to incorporate in your life while you can just improve on what you have? It sounds so fucking easy, but you'll be surprised how much ego gets in the way of doing that. And I think that's another video in and of its own, but it basically boils down to always getting shoved by pop culture about what the ideal person is. So then you formulate this ego based on that, based on what you think the ideal person is. Going back to growth, if you're more of an optimizer type of person, like you want to see like which one is better, like real growth or fake growth, by doing so, by improving on what's actually an advantage, which is real growth, you actually get ahead of people. I want you to visualize something. Visualize the growth curve when you are improving something you lack versus something you are not lacking. One feels smooth and the other feels like you are trying to catch up to something. When someone tries to become another man's ideal of a better person, he loses vision on what makes him himself. And in my opinion, that's one of the greatest betrayals you can do to yourself. And natural growth is not that. I have a different mindset on it. You shouldn't be suppressing who you are, but you should be aware and embrace that part of you. You should not repress your anger if you have a tendency to be an angry person. You should instead channel that elsewhere because it can be used for something useful. Don't try to force yourself to become a full-time hustler when you know that you tend to be lazy, but instead you can make laziness to your advantage by working with it and not around it. And by doing so, you make changes that stick, which leads me to one important distinction. Real growth is consistent, while fake growth is intense and unsustainable. Now, I've been foaming in my mouth talking about growth and whatever it is. So then naturally you wonder, how the fuck do you grow organically? Well, instead of thinking outwards to figure out what traits or things you desire in becoming a better person, you should be thinking inwards, like, what am I missing? What makes me do the things I do? What could I rediscover about myself? So that in the future I can figure out which traits to implement to complement these natural things that I have. Real growth is not about becoming someone else. It's about finding yourself and becoming who you were those years ago before social media told you that astrology and tarot readings are fucking legit. Growing naturally is about learning yourself instead of learning about what traits and others you should implement in your growth. I'm not saying that one way of growth is better than the other, but in my view, growth shouldn't be betraying who you are as a person. And what differs between real or fake growth is a fuller and more aware version of you that might not be what you expect a successful person to be like, but it surely is the type of person you need it to be. Remember, boys, real growth is consistent and fake growth is intense. Catch you later, boys. See ya.